Hey guys, and welcome on in to another episode of Getting Wild and Flying High, free NHL and MLB picks. I am Terry, ready to break down today's slate. Now, when a few days ago, when I announced that I was ending the best bet segment, I mentioned that I had something in the works here that I was working on, and it is not done yet, but I am ready to bring it up here. We're going to jump into baseball first, just because we have some early games starting here right away. But I've been working on a spreadsheet, and it's in the early development here. So bear with me here. But instead of just going over all my stats each day, I'm going to bring them right up here on the screen and go over them with you. It'll help with player props. Um, some people like to see visuals more than just hearing things. So here we go. The layout is all in development. I'm going to be continuing to work on it, but we'll start with this first game here that's starting in a few minutes between the Angels and the Orioles. Basically, Orioles fifth best against left-handed pitchers. LA Angels are 10th against righties. Baltimore 15-7 at home. The Angels are 12-13 on the road against each other. The Angels are 2-10 in their last 12 games against Baltimore, 1-8 in their last 9 trips to Baltimore. On the mound today, Anderson against Wells. Um, Here I have basically the stats from the last 3 games for each pitcher: innings pitched, ERA, home runs allowed, walks allowed, and strikeouts allowed. Most likely, I'm going to start. I'm going to add hit batters in with the walks because although it's not the same thing, it's ultimately still putting a guy on base without a hit. So I'm going to be adding that as well. But overall, in this game, Baltimore has the hitting and pitching advantage. So I do like the Orioles today here on the run line. Moving over to player props, I did have a couple other. I did have another Angels pitch player that I had here, but he is not in the lineup. So the players I like today for the Angels: Mickey Moniak, 417 last 7 days, 417 against righties. Adley Rutschman and Ryan McKenna, both for Baltimore, both hitting lefties well. Rutschman 350 over the last 7 days. McKenna 667, and then McKenna's 367 against lefties. Rutschman is 291. So that is basically my breakdown here for the first game. Morning, Terry. Morning, Tim. Let's go. Yes, let's go. Happy Thursday, Terry, to you as well, Kev. Um, hey, Terry. Nice walk-off win by the Jays last night. Yes. I'm still trying to figure out exactly how I'm going to go through what happened yesterday without having it drag on forever. But yeah, great win yesterday. I was so happy. Toronto was one of my premium plays up on the site. I didn't take them the first 2 days when they were big favorites. I took them as a dog yesterday, and figures they lose their first 2 games, but then they beat Garrett Cole, which is funny. I got Baltimore money line and Dodgers money line on a parlay. We'll get to the Dodgers game here shortly. Whoa, fancy spreadsheet. Not yet. It's I have a lot more to work on, but it's going to get there, and I'm really excited because instead of me writing out my stats like I was, which is just a waste of time, and why not bring it and put it up here on the screen? So that's what I'm going to be doing. Good day, Terry. Smash like. Thank you, Captain Bry. Rutschman for MVP. Slow your roll there, Tim. Slow your roll. I am back, and everyone knows what time it is. Yes, Jake. Talking hockey in a bit. Decided to do it at the end of the show just because this game is starting here and baseball starting here very shortly. Captain Bry likes Orioles first 5 minus a half and full game run line plus 349. Whoa, you're going big there. Yep, I like them on the full game run line, and want to talk you off the first 5 as well. But we'll go over into our second game here. I have all 5 games up here to talk about today, or all 6. Um, Obviously, when there's huge slates starting tomorrow, I won't have every game here to go through, but today we will. Washington Nationals and Miami Marlins. Neither team hits righties very well. Washington 28th, Miami is 25th. Miami 13 and 11 at home. Washington actually better on the road than they are at home. 10 and 11 on the road this year. But Miami has taken it to Washington the last few years. 17 and 4 in the last 21 meetings. 9 and 2 in the last 11 in Miami. The pitchers on the mound, William against Perez here. Perez has only pitched in 1 game. Lasted 4 innings, gave up 2 earned runs, 2 home runs, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, and then Williams here. Overall, 2 good starts, 1 bad start. Not exactly sure what we're going to get from him, but with Miami not hitting righties very well, overall this game's a pass when it comes to side and total for me. Looking at player props, um, with Washington, I was going to take Joey Meneses. He is they're one of their hottest players right now, and is hot against righties. But Washington decided not to put him in the lineup today, which doesn't make much sense to me, as he is the best player you have against right-handed pitchers. I don't understand not putting him in the lineup today. So unable to take him. So there's no Washington players I like for Miami. Brian De La Cruz hitting 500 the last 7 days, 273 against right-handed pitchers, 250 against Williams. Overall, he was 1 for 4 against Williams. Jake Hasner, time to hunt. Yes, Nick is happy about that. Baltimore is 22 and 3 as a favorite. Wow. What's up, Terry? I smashed a like. Thank you, Richie, as always. I think he got hurt. He's on paternity leave. Oh, okay. Um, so is Jose Ramirez. I guess going around, I guess, in baseball. Everyone's having kids, but okay. Nice to know. But okay, so that makes sense why he's not in the lineup then. But if anything, Miami's dominated. Washington makes me like Miami more. The issue is that they're kind of big favorites here at minus 150-ish. So not getting involved on the side or total, but I have De La Cruz in a parlay. Going to the next game, the Tampa Bay Rays and the New York Mets. Tampa Bay #1 against right-handed pitchers in baseball. The New York Mets are 18th. Tampa Bay 13 and 9 on the road. The Mets 8 and 9 at home. Tampa Bay 10 and 3 in the last 13 meetings between the teams. 7 and 3 in their last 10 trips to New York. Bradley against McGill here. Pitching advantage goes to Bradley. Hitting advantage goes to not a huge pitching advantage for Bradley, but he's played in 3 games, won all 3. And I like this spot for Tampa. I think Tampa wins this game here today, and pretty nice price for them as well. So I am on the Tampa Bay Rays here. And this one, looking at player props for Tampa Bay, Isaac Paredes hitting 526 the last 7 days, 275 overall against righties. Harold Ramirez, 429 the last 7 days, 314 overall against righties. For the Mets, I was going to take Brandon Nimmo, but he's starting to cool off a bit. But the player I would take, if you want to take a player for the Mets, is Jeff McNeil. 276 last 7 days, and 271 overall against right-handed pitchers. Going on along, the next game here, Cleveland Guardians and the Chicago White Sox. This game was going to be mostly a pass for me. No plays on the side or total here. White Sox 15th against lefties, 743 OPS. Cleveland second to last with a 646 OPS. Cleveland 10-11 on the road. White Sox 9-12 at home. Pretty even. Cleveland against the White Sox 6-6 in the last meeting. 12 meetings between the teams. Cleveland 5-4 in their last 9 to Chicago. However, the White Sox have won the first 2 meetings of this series here, and I would lean with them possibly to get the sweep here, but I don't want to get involved in this game when it comes to side or total. Dylan Cease, who some people thought was going to be in the Cy Young conversation, had a horrible start to the year, is coming off a good start, going 6 innings, no earned runs, no home runs, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts in his last game. We'll see if he can continue that against the second worst team against right-handed pitchers. Should be a good spot here for Cease. Looking at player props for the Guardians, Stephen Kwan, 375 the last 7 days. Overall, 264 against right-handed pitchers, but he's 5 for 10 in his 10 matchups, 10 at-bats against Cease. He has 5 hits. For the White Sox, Luis Robert Jr., Jake Berger, both hitting the ball well last 7 days, and both hit righties pretty well. Luis Robert 360, and White Sox Berger 300 in this one. Moving on along to the next game between the New York Yankees and the Toronto Blue Jays here. Blue Jays 14th against left-handed pitchers, 741 OPS. New York Yankees 17th overall against righties, 716 OPS. Yankees 9-10 on the road. Blue Jays 13-5 at home. Overall, this has been more of a road series. To be honest, the road team has done better for the most part between these teams lately. Going on to the pitching matchup, Cortez against Barrios here. Cortez, 7 earned runs, 2 earned runs, 6 earned runs in his last 3 starts. He's given up walks. He's giving up home runs. And he's only going 4 to 5 innings. Barrios on the other side, 5 to 6 innings. 2 earned runs in his last 2 starts, 5 the start before that. He does give up some home runs, does walk some guys, but Barrios 3-0. Toronto is 3-0 in Barrios' 3 home starts. He's given up 3 earned runs total in those 3 home starts so far this year, and he's been great at home. Looking at the player props here for this game, none of these players are confirmed yet, but Anthony Rizzo for the New York Yankees, 304 the last 7 days, 270 against right-handed pitchers, 409 against Barrios, 9 for 22 overall. Aaron Judge, 269 the last 7 days, 296 against right-handed pitchers, 381 against Barrios, 8 for 21. Bo Bichette, George Springer, and Whit Merrifield. I have them all here. Bo Bichette hitting 500 against Cortez. Springer 286, Merrifield 357. Merrifield kind of slowing down the last 7 days, but I think this is a good spot for him here. Bichette, Springer, and Merrifield. Kevin Kiermaier I have listed here. He is dealing with an illness, but if he's in the lineup, I'm taking him even against a lefty. He's 677 over his last 7 days, 280 against lefties in the season, but he's faced Cortez 6 times and has 3 hits, hitting 500 against a fellow lefty. So if Kiermaier is feeling better and is in the lineup, I will be taking him here, but I have him down here because I question if he'll be in the lineup or not. Jump into the chats here. 1-0 Angels, freaking Ohtani. Oh, of course. Of course. Ohtani bomb. Yeah, of course. Blue Jays run line. Sounds good to me. In Brios, we trust. Jays money line. Yeah, I like Jays money line. That's where I'm going here in this one against Cortez. Brios has been good at home. So that's how I'm going here. This one, jump into the last game, and then we'll jump over to NHL, LA Dodgers against the St. Louis Cardinals. Cardinals hitting 17th overall against lefties, 741. They've kind of dropped here lately. Dodgers third against righties, 798 OPS. Dodgers 11-9 on the road. Cardinals 8-14 at home. But the Dodgers have had success in the last 10 games against the Cardinals, going 8-2. However, most of those games were in LA. When we go to meetings in St. Louis, the Cardinals are 8-4 in the last 12 meetings between the teams. Urias against Wainwright here. Wainwright, it's gone 5 innings in both games, 4 earned runs in both games, 2 home runs, 2 walks overall. Urias, last 3 games, 1 earned run, 2 earned runs, 2 earned runs, not giving up very many home runs, not really walking anybody. So overall, he has pitched pretty well. And I'm just staying off the side or total here overall. But I do have player props for both sides here that I'm looking at. For the LA Dodgers, Freddie Freeman hitting 455 over the last 7 days, 342 against righties, and he's hitting 300 against Wainwright, 9 for 30. Will Smith, 353 over the last 7 days, also 342 against righties. He's 2 for 9 against Wainwright. Arenado hitting 440 the last 7 days, 303 against lefties, and he's hitting 462 against Urias, 6 for 13. I'm also looking at Tommy Edman and Paul Goldschmidt, both smashing the ball right now and against lefties. Jump into the chat here. Dodgers first 5 -0.5. Yeah, I could see that. Wainwright, he's been giving up. He's been kind of consistent in his first 2 starts, and we'll see what happens here. Really, I should look up his stats against the Dodgers. Looking at the players, looking at the spreadsheet here, if anyone has any suggestions of anything you want me to add that you think would be a good addition here, let me know. As I said, I'm still working on the spreadsheet, so today is just the first day I'm using it for the show. But we'll jump over into the NHL and we'll look at what's happening here. We have one game today between the Florida Panthers and the Carolina Hurricanes. Carolina has the goals for advantage, goals against advantage. Florida 6-1 on the road this year during this playoff season. Carolina is 5-1 at home. Florida by far has the power play advantage, but Carolina even more has the penalty kill advantage. So special teams is kind of a wash here. I don't really know what to expect. Florida 5-2 in the last 7 meetings against Carolina. However, Carolina 5-0-2 in the last 6 meetings in Carolina. So when it comes to side or total in this series, I'm going to be kind of staying off for the most part. I just don't have a good feeling about this series. I feel like it's like a 50-50 chance. I've been wrong about Carolina throughout these playoffs. Florida, I was right about them the last series against Toronto. So I could see Florida winning, upsetting the Canes. I could see the Canes moving on to the Stanley Cup final. But what I do have is player props here. And this one for both teams. For Carolina, Jordan Martinook has points in his last 5 games. 4 of those 5 games were multi-point games. You can get him for a point plus 105. You can get him for an assist plus 186. He's done that in 5 straight games. Jesper Fast plus 125 for a point. He's done it in 5 straight games as well. Florida was looking at Kachuk assist. However, it's minus 154. So no way I could play that. But for Florida, I'm on Carter Verhaeghe to score He's a goal in 4 of his last 6 games, plus 210 to find the back of the net. And Anthony Duclair to get a point. He's done that in 6 of his last 8 games here in the playoffs, plus 120 to get a point. I like that value here. And that's basically it. Basically it for me today. I'll jump into the chat here. I know you lean over, but I lean under. I have player props, so I guess I kind of lean over because of the props that I'm doing. But um, I I don't know about this series. I'm being very cautious with this series. I just don't exactly know what to expect. But that is doesn't matter who wins. Vegas for the cup. Yeah, I'm kind of cheering for Vegas to win as well. I don't really want an expansion team though to win the cup before Minnesota does. Um, doesn't really sit well with me that they've only been here for a few years and they got set up perfectly in the expansion draft when Minnesota got a bunch of bums back in 2000. But we'll leave that in the past for where it is. Tim likes the Nuggets -5.5 in the NBA. Tim, I may look at Jokic triple double. I might. I'll see what the odds are, and you let me know if it's a good play. Jokic. Well, obviously, maybe I shouldn't ask you if Jokic triple double is a good play, but yeah. Vegas. Yes, I like them. We'll talk about them in tomorrow's show. Laughing. Yeah, Richie. Yeah, I shouldn't have asked him about that, but best of luck to everything is rigged for years in the NBA. Yeah, I could see it. I could see it. -125 for the triple double. Okay, no, 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 no. That's not good enough. But thanks everybody for watching. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the content. Appreciate all the support. I'll be continuing to work on the spreadsheet. So that's how I'm going to do things from now on. Hope everyone likes it. And we'll see you again tomorrow on another episode of Getting Wild Flying High, free NHL and MLB picks. Best of luck, everybody.